What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today you're watching a magic review on the Endless Cup by TCC, manufactured by Maibro. What is the Endless Cup? The Endless Cup is a modern and elegant looking Lota cup. So basically, you can do a number of things with this. The routine that's in the trailer is almost like a kind of a cup and balls routine where you eliminate a ball and you have three, you eliminate one, and three end up back in the cup. So kind of playing into that endless cup idea where the cup reproduces a third ball. But then in the end, with your kicker finale, is the cup will be full of water. So let's get into the quality of this. The quality is extremely good. I have an old Lota vase here, just not to necessarily compare because they are two different products, right? This is a cup, this is a vase, but just to show you, like for any of you who know how this works, then you can kind of understand what I'm going to show you here. So you see the outside of these, and this just looks like a regular teacup, coffee cup type thing, mug. And this one looks like a vase, right? Now, the difference, the very noticeable difference in this, and that's why I'm comparing these, because you'll see the quality here with this is when you look at the outside of this, right? It has a big bellowed shape, and when you look at the inside, very thin, right? So I wouldn't even want any of my participants to see the inside of this because it just looks off, right? You have a large vase here with a very small, thin inside. Doesn't make sense. Whereas this, on the outside, looks like a regular cup. On the inside, looks like a fairly regular cup, right? It does get a bit more narrow inside. I mean, it has to. There's not really a way around that for this to work, but it's not noticeable like it is with this and with other Lota vases and cups that I've seen before. So I think that this one, the design was very well thought out. It looks like a regular cup inside, outside. I don't think that your participant would really figure out the method here. With this one, I wouldn't say that they would figure out the method as to how it's done, but when they see the inside of this opposed to the outside, it's pretty clear that this is storing water somehow, right? So that's the only reason that I kind of compare to that. Whereas this one, it doesn't look like it's storing anything. It doesn't look possible that this is actually full of water. Holds water very well. You can do your magic with it, whatever you want to use it as a regular prop. And then when you're ready for this, for the kicker ending, it's very easy to achieve. So the quality on this is, I think, as good as it's going to get. This is 3D printed, so that allowed them to get the precise shape and design, as well as to have everything consistent. And then I believe after the printing process, each one of these is hand painted. So, you get your quality there. As your kicker ending, you can take the cup. And you have your water inside, right? Difficulty level. So the difficulty level on this, it's not difficult at all to use the cup for what it's made for. Basically, and this will keep pouring out a number of times. So, you can repeat this a number of times. If you want the water to stop and you want to use this again as a prop, very easy to do. You just have to kind of replace the method. I'm not going to say much more there, but it'll make sense once you get this, or if you've used one of these before. Or another one, this works the same as the comedy funnel, if you're familiar with that. So same principle, but it will keep pouring water, right? You're going to get a little bit less each time, but you can get a number of pours out of this. So yeah, difficulty level, I mean, maybe the routine that you're doing might be a bit more advanced, but to actually use this for what it's meant to do, it's very, very easy. To fill the cup itself, again, I think we're pretty much at the end of the water there, yeah. To fill the cup itself, also very, very easy. I don't know if this is the method with all Lota cups, Lota vases, but it was the first time that I've seen this method used to fill the cup and prepare the cup or the gimmick. Other ones that I have, it was just in written instructions, so I'm thinking it might be possible to fill them the same way as this, but this is a much easier way, and I think it allows you to get the cup as full as you can. So I do really like the preparation to this as well. So, I tie that in with difficulty because this is kind of a new way that I've not discovered, but I've learned to fill one of these props. Angles. So really, there are no angle restrictions with this. There's one very, very small area that your audience can't see, but it's very well hidden. I'm completely hiding it right now, and I can be very open with this, and it's completely hidden, right? And even when your hand's off, it's also very hidden because of the color of the material that's included with this, and that is also very easy to find if you run out, but that's going to last you a very long time because it's reusable. So as far as angles go, I would not be concerned about angles pretty much whatsoever, even if they're looking at this and you have it completely, exposed. It's still very, very unlikely that they're going to see anything. Setup and reset. I mean, this isn't by any means an instant reset. You can reset it very quickly, but you are going to have to kind of go off, out of sight to do this. Obviously, right? You need a water source, or if you're carrying like a jug of water, you're good, right? So, because you don't need running water for this. And that's how I always filled these props up before in the past. Other ones was a running water source, where this, the way that it's taught to fill this, you don't need running water. I could pour this in and reset it like within, 10 seconds. So it doesn't take long to reset, and that is one nice thing about this. And then once it's set up, you can do whatever you need to do with this. I filled this up, placed I don't know if I want to call it a gimmick. I put the material on this so that it would hold, and I left it overnight. And when I came to do the review this morning, I looked inside. There was no water in it. So once it's set up, it holds really well. It allows you to perform whatever you're going to do with it before you actually want to, show that there is now water in the cup. So that's really nice, because I've had other Lota cups, Lota vases that really leaked a lot, and you couldn't really do anything with them aside from produce the water. Arts and crafts, or is this ready to use out of the box? I mean, it is ready to use out of the box. You just have to set it up, but there are no arts and crafts. Can it be inspected or examined? See, that's, I think, where this one stands out opposed to other ones like I showed you earlier. This one, I would have no issue allowing people to examine this. Now, the only thing is there is, the secret. Once you produce the water, the secret is exposed, right? But if they're just looking casually, they're likely not going to see it. So, obviously I wouldn't want somebody to take this and to sit there and, thoroughly examine it just because the secret is exposed. But casual inspection, I don't think that they're going to notice anything. If they look inside, there's nothing to see because the secret inside is very well hidden, right? So with some other ones, you have the secret just in here, where that isn't the case with this, right? There's nothing to see. It's very well hidden. They can look at this and they're not going to notice anything, right? So yeah, you can, and I don't even think this calls for examination because you can show this very, very openly, right? Like, you have to hold it somewhere, and just doing this is as open and as fair as it's going to be. They can see every part of it, inside, outside, bottom, top. So I think they've done a very, very great job with the design. Pocket space, it's a cup, right? So you're not going to carry this in your pocket. Is it a worker, and who would use this? So this isn't something that you're going to carry around with you. Like, you're just not, right? It's not designed for that. But for the close-up worker, yeah, absolutely, because you can do, obviously this isn't a chop cup, but when I think of different routines that you can incorporate with this before the finale, I think of chop cup type routines, or one, like cups and balls with just one cup, right? So, oops, I gotta move this, but right, so you could do your slights with a single cup and a ball or multiple balls, and then the routine that's in the trailer, they have a number of paper balls that they put in and dump out and eliminate, and they end up back in there. So lots of different routines that you can do with this before the kicker ending. It can just be used for a prop that produces water, but I do really like that you can go beyond that and perform a good amount of strong magic before the kicker ending, which is extremely powerful when they've seen you use this to vanish, appear, objects, or have them reproduce or things like that, and then all of a sudden there's water in it, right? So I think that is a very, very strong ending. I think it's a great prop. So again, who would use this? I'd say the close-up worker if you're doing a close-up show. This can be used on a bigger scale, parlor as well, even stage, right? Like, depending on what you're doing, right? If you're in a huge auditorium, you're not gonna perform this on stage, but it depends. Like, if you're doing a small venue and there's a stage, there's no reason you can't use this. If you just for the sake of producing water, right? Like, you could show that this is empty somehow and set it off to the side, and then all of a sudden there's water. They're going to see that from quite a distance, right? So but ultimately I'd say that this is best for the close-up worker or close-up performer. So what's the price, and is it worth your money? So right now this is available on Kickstarter, and this is definitely where I would say go out and buy this if this is something that interests you or something that you could use. On Kickstarter, you're only going to pay $59 for it. As soon as the Kickstarter is over and this retails on the website, it jumps up to $100. So you're almost paying half the price right now on Kickstarter as you would be once this retails. So is this worth the money? I had paid, I think, $50 for this one, right? I think this costs the same as this does on the Kickstarter. This one is much nicer, much cleaner, right? It looks normal, whereas that doesn't. So is it worth the money? I definitely think at the $59 mark it is, because I don't know if you're going to find a better cup of this sort. I think that this is a great design. $100 maybe a bit pricier, right? So I think if you're going to spend the $100, you are already going to know that you need this, right? You're not going to buy it and find a way to work it into your routine or performance. You likely already have something where you know that you're going to use this, right? And that it would benefit your routine or your show in some way to where it's worth that $100. But for the Kickstarter price, $59, I definitely think that it's worth it. Very well made. It looks really good. Hand painted, right? And very well done. So I guess, when it jumps up to that $100 mark, I would say it is a bit pricier, and you're going to need to know if this is something that you're definitely going to use before putting out that much money. Pros and cons, positives, negatives. I've kind of listed A lot of the pros, it's just, it looks good, it works well, very easy to use. The best that I've seen of its kind. Negatives, I don't necessarily have any negatives. I can't really give it a negative. It looks great and it works exactly how it's supposed to, so I don't see any flaws in that. The only negative is that if you don't jump at this now at $59, then you're going to have to pay $100 for it, and that does get a fair bit pricey. So that's really the only negative I can see some people having with this, is once it retails at full price, it's not as affordable. Anyway, with that, I think I've covered everything I can about the Endless Cup. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer them to the best of my ability, or try to find an answer for you. And with that, we'll see you at the next review.